So, good morning, everyone. In this, we are going to see about median nerve, that is its course, relations, and its clinical importance in this video. So, the median nerve arises from the axilla by two roots, laterally C5, C6, C7, and the medial root that is going to be the C8 and T1 from the lateral and the medial cords of the brachial plexus. The root value is going to be C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. Okay. Median nerve at the level of axilla. Median nerve crosses the front of the third part of the axillary artery, connects to the lateral root in a Y-shaped manner, possibly in the front of the lateral side of the artery to compose the median nerve, to form the median nerve. Now in the cubital fossa, it lies in the front of the brachialis muscle. The median nerve lies medial to the brachial artery and the tendon of the biceps brachii. Here it is protected by the bicipital aponeurosis, which divides it from the medial cubital vein. Okay. Then the medial side of the ulnar artery, it gives muscular branches for the medial side of the supply of the superficial flexors of the forearm. That is going to be the FCR and PL. That is the flexor carpi radialis, and the palmaris longus, flexor digitorum superficialis also it's supplied, and the flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay. As you also know, it is a spur, there is tooth or ligaments, it crosses the spur, then it between the pronator teres muscles, two ends of the pronator teres muscles, then it runs distally, okay? Distal to the cubital fossa. The median nerve gets out the cubital fossa by passing between the two heads of the pronator teres in crossing in the front of the ulnar artery, but separated from its ulnar head of the pronator teres. At this point, it gives off the anterior intraosseous nerve. Okay, the anterior intraosseous nerve is purely motor and supplies 2.5 of the muscles: the flexor pollicis longus, lateral half of the flexor digitorum profundus, and the pronator quadratus muscle. Median nerve. Okay, in the forearm, the nerve travels between the flexor digitorum profundus and flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. The median nerve gives rise to the two major branches, anterior and the palmar cutaneous branch, anterior intraosseous and the palmar cutaneous branch. Anterior intraosseous, as you all know, it supplies to the deep muscles of the anterior forearm, and the palmar cutaneous branch innervates the skin of the cutaneous supply is nothing but the sensory supply, the skin of the lateral side of the palm. Okay, then the median nerve enters the hand via the carpal tunnel. So median nerve gets in the palm by passing through the carpal tunnel, which is located deep to the flexor retinaculum and the superficial tendons of the flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus, and flexor pollicis longus. The median nerve ends in the carpal tunnel, dividing into two terminal branches, lateral smaller and the medial larger. Okay. In the forearm, the median nerve travels between the flexor digitorum profundus and the flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay, the median nerve divides into two branches. I think I have already put the slide for you. So as you can see, this is going to anterior intraosseous branch and the median nerve. This is a deep forearm flexus, the flexor digitorum superficialis, and the pronator teres. Two heads of pronator teres passes between the two heads of pronator teres and the flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay. Proximal to the flexor retinaculum, about 5 centimeters to the flexor retinaculum, the medial nerve arises from the lateral side of the flexor digitorum superficialis and becomes the superficial, exactly in the midline of the flexor retinaculum. It is cutaneous to the flexor muscles in the nail beds of the 3.5 of the radial digits corresponding to the area of the palm. Medial nerve is also termed as the laborer's nerve, since the course and movements of hand required by the digging, lifting weights, and they are carried out by the long flexors of the forearm, which is commonly subscribed by the median nerve. It is also called as the eye of the hand or the peripheral eye, because they offer sensory innervation to the pulp of the thumb and the index finger, which is used to see the thinness, texture of cloth, also used to do fine movements, like example buttoning of cloth. Buttoning of your shirt, as you can see. In the palm, the lateral division gives a recurrent branch which curls upward to supply the thenar muscles, okay, just below the thumb, and except the deep hands of the flexor pollicis brevis. Then it splits into the 3 palmar digital branches. Medial division gives off 2 palmar digital nerves, the 5 palmar digital nerves supply. Sensory innervation to the skin of the palmar aspect, lateral 3.5 digits consisting of the nail beds and the dorsal aspect of the distal phalanges, and the first and the second lumbricals is supplied. So we'll see a flow chart of it is. So from the nerve root, axilla, no branches, arm to the brachial artery. Then that the elbow joint, anterior intraosseous nerve, forearm flexor pollicis longus, flexor digitorum profundus, and pronator quadratus. Pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and flexor digitorum superficialis supplied at the level of forearm. At the hand, palmar cutaneous branch, skin to the lateral 2/3 of the palm. Palmar digital branches supplied to the 3.5 digits. Thenar muscles are abductor pollicis brevis, flexor pollicis brevis, and opponens pollicis. And the first and the second lumbricals is also supplied. Median nerve enters the anterior compartment of arm at the lower border of the teres major. In the arm, it initially lies lateral to the brachial artery, then in the front of the artery, reaches the medial side at the level of coracobrachialis. Enters the cubital fossa, which lies medial to the brachial artery. Leaves the cubital fossa by passing between the two heads of the pronator teres and gives off the anterior intraosseous branch, or you call it anterior intraosseous nerve. In the forearm level, it passes behind the tendinous arch and the digitorum superficialis, and the runs downwards deep to the muscle. At the wrist level, proximal to the flexor retinaculum, 5 centimeters. Okay, superficially exactly at the midline. That will like superficial exact to the midline. It enters the palm to the carpal tunnel. Okay, so I have combined all the three, from the axilla to the wrist. I have combined everything so that you can see in a single slide. Okay, deep to the flexor retinaculum and divides into the lateral and the medial terminal branches. We'll see at the clinical relevance of the medial nerve. The lesions can be taking over at the happen at the 4 sides. One is at the elbow, mid forearm, wrist and distal forearm are in the level of carpal tunnel. Okay. Sensory function. Okay, we'll see about the sensory functions and slowly move to the clinical relevance. Okay, the sensory functions of the medial nerve is responsible for the cutaneous innervation of the hand. It is achieved via 2 branches, palmar cutaneous branch and palmar digital cutaneous branch. Okay, it arises from palmar cutaneous branch arises from the forearm and travels into the hand, innervates the lateral aspect of the palm. Now does not pass through the carpal tunnel. It is spared in the carpal tunnel syndrome. Palmar cutaneous branch. So the sensation to the lateral aspect of the palm is spared when there is carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay. The palmar digital cutaneous branch arises in the hand and innervates the palmar surface of the fingertips and the lateral 3 and the half digits. Okay. So as you can see, palmar cutaneous branch is this yellow part supplied and the digital cutaneous branch is this blue part supplied. So another combining all the branches. In the axilla, no branches. In the cubital fossa, from its medial side, superficial flexors to and the FCU muscle it is supplied. In the forearm, anterior intraosseous branch that is supplies to the 2.5 muscles, flexor pollicis longus, pronator quadratus, and the FDP. Okay, the palmar cutaneous branch before entering the carpal tunnel gives us the palmar cutaneous branch, supplies to the superficial to the passes over the superficial of the flexor retinaculum, supplies to the skin just under the thenar eminence. Lateral side of the palm also it is getting supplied. Okay, in the palm, lateral branches, recurrent branch supplies to the thenar except the adductor pollicis muscle. Okay, then the thenar 3 palmar digital branches. The medial branch gives to 2 palmar branches, that is the 5 palmar digital nerve supply. Okay. Then I will see further more sensory ulnar nerve supply, medial nerve supply, and the radial nerve supply, which you can see here. So injuries can occur at the level of the carpal tunnel. The carpal tunnel, the medial nerve is compressed. Feeling and burning pins and needle sensation can occur along the distribution of the medial nerve, lateral 3.5 digits, especially at the night. There is no sensory loss in the thenar eminence because the skin over the thenar eminence is supplied by the palmar cutaneous branch, as I said before, which is spared. Okay, and the weakness of the thenar muscles can occur. Ape thumb deformity may occur if left untreated due to paralysis of the thenar muscles. So we will see all together what is the level of lesion, motor deficits, and the sensory deficits. Lesion above the elbow joint. The superficial supracondylar fracture of the humerus can also cause it. Application of tight tourniquet during the vein puncture. Okay, vein puncture. That's vein puncture. The motor deficits, pronation of forearm, weakness in the flexion of hand, flexion of thumb, and second and third digits, loss of abduction and opposition of thumb can be expected. Fixed hyperextension of index finger and middle finger and the thumb. Sensory deficit, loss of sensation of the thumb, second and third digit and the thenar area. So lesions between the elbow and the wrist, loss of pronation, flexion of thumb, second and third digit, pointing index finger can occur, loss of the abduction and the opposition of thumb. So at the elbow level, pointing index finger can occur. The loss of sensation in the thumb and the second and third digits at the thenar area can occur. Okay, the lesion in the proximal to the carpal tunnel, there will be loss of flexion of thumb and second and third digits, and there will be loss of abduction or opposition of thumb. Okay, loss of sensation in the thumb and second and third digits and the thenar area. Lesions within the carpal tunnel will be losing the thumb digits. Ear thumb deformity will be prominent. Loss of abduction. Okay, loss of sensation will be there in the second and third digits, excluding the thenar eminence. As you all know, the nerve is spared. Tenels and phalanx maneuver. The carpal tunnel syndromes can be diagnosed with these two maneuvers. Tenels and tapping the nerve in the level of carpal tunnel may elicit the pain in the distribution area. Phalanx maneuver, holding the wrist in the flexion for 60 seconds to elicit the numbness and the pain in the median nerve distribution area. The ear thumb deformity. Who cannot see the thumb away from the rest of the hand due to the paralysis of the muscles due to the median nerve and the polio or leprosy patients you can see. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, subscribe and share. Thanks for more updated content. Thank you.